Hello there, welcome to the Sleepy Knowledge channel. You let your body grow still, the air softens. The world quiets around you. Somewhere beyond your room, beyond the walls and whispers of the night, the universe hums. Not a loud hum, not a sound you could ever truly hear, but something older and deeper. A gentle vibration that has never stopped since the beginning of time. The scientists call it the cosmic microwave background, but tonight, you can think of it as the universe's first lullaby. A soft, eternal sigh left over from the moment everything began. You imagine it washing over you like invisible waves of warmth. Ancient light still drifting through the dark. Every particle, every flicker of that faint energy once burned with unimaginable brightness. Now it's calm, stretched thin by time, like the echo of a song sung billions of years ago. And somehow, that same energy threads through you. Quiet but constant, as if the stars are still whispering your name. You drift deeper, feeling the stillness of space in your chest. The cosmic lullaby doesn't rush. It flows slowly, like a tide moving through eternity. Every pulse of your heartbeat feels synchronized with something vast. You begin to wonder if sleep itself might be an echo of that original calm. The universe reminding you to rest, to soften, to remember where you came from. Because before there were dreams, there was only silence, and then a whisper that became everything. You picture the beginning not as an explosion, but as a breath. A single exhale from the void. Particles blossoming like seeds carried by an unseen wind. Light finding itself for the first time, curling through newborn space. That first warmth still drifts through every atom, through every star, through you. You carry that song in the smallest parts of your being, even when you forget it. Even when the world feels loud and heavy, that hum continues, patient and unbroken. In the darkness of your room, it's easy to imagine that the night sky above you isn't empty at all. It's filled with that quiet resonance, the soft music of existence. The same energy that once flared brighter than a trillion suns now moves gently through cold, thin space like a lullaby sung to itself. And perhaps, when you fall asleep, your mind tunes in for just a moment, catching a note of it between dreams. The thought makes you feel small, but safely so. Like a single ripple on an endless ocean that began long before you and will continue long after. Every wave is different, but all belong to the same sea, and as you breathe, slow and easy, you sense that you are part of that rhythm. Your inhale, your exhale, a quiet mirror of creation's pulse. You imagine the stars listening too. They drift in their silent orbits, ancient and patient, glowing softly as if nodding along to the same tune. Each one a spark in the cosmic melody, each one carrying the same echo. Perhaps this is what peace means on a universal scale. Not stillness, but a slow, infinite harmony. When you close your eyes, your inner world expands. The boundaries of your body blur, and you feel as if you're floating through that endless hum. You become aware of the vastness, yet it doesn't frighten you. It feels like home. The same patterns that shape galaxies, the spirals, the flows, the graceful arcs, exist in the quiet electrical currents of your mind. The cosmos sings, and your brain hums in answer. Somewhere, billions of light years away, that first whisper still travels, passing through clouds of dust, through clusters of stars, through the sleeping heart of galaxies. And somehow, without words, it reaches you. A vibration so faint that even the instruments of science struggle to hear it. But you feel it, not with your ears, but with something deeper, something ancient within your own atoms. The echo of origin calling softly. You begin to see that sleep is not an escape but a reunion. When you rest, your body slows to the same rhythm as the universe, steady, patient kind. The same energy that spins planets and stirs nebulae flows through you, encouraging every cell to rest and renew. The same light that once blazed across the early cosmos now flickers gently behind your eyelids as you drift toward dreams. The scientists say this radiation is faint, only a few degrees above absolute zero. But warmth doesn't always mean heat. Sometimes it's the comfort of connection, the soft awareness that you belong to something vast and beautiful. Even the coldest starlight can cradle you in its glow if you listen closely enough. The lullaby is still there, steady and eternal, waiting for you to remember its melody. You imagine the sound, not quite a tone, more like a vibration of peace. It ripples through time, through galaxies, through you. Perhaps this is what the universe does when it dreams. It sings quietly to itself, weaving harmony into the fabric of existence. And when you sleep, you join that song, your mind dissolving into its rhythm. You might think of the cosmic lullaby as a mother's hum, or the sigh of a great ocean of stars. Each note drifting through endless dark, searching for listening hearts. It finds you tonight. It finds everyone eventually. Every sleeper, every dreamer, every planet wrapped in shadow. The song moves on, infinite and patient, carrying the message that you are part of the same, endless beginning. As your breathing slows, you realize that silence is never truly silent. Beneath it, there's always motion, always resonance. Even in the spaces between thoughts, there's a subtle vibration, the residue of that ancient hum. The same resonance that moves through starlight, through gravity, through the soft pulse in your wrist. You are never separate from it. You are the note it sings. You let your mind wander through the cosmos like a drifting feather. You pass galaxies that glow like lanterns, clusters of stars that shimmer like tiny fires in the dark. Each one adds its own harmony, its own quiet brilliance. You feel a sense of belonging so deep that words dissolve before it. The lullaby continues, wrapping you in warmth older than memory. Somewhere, far beyond, new stars are being born. Clouds of dust collapse, ignited by the same spark that once began everything. The lullaby hums through those newborn lights too, teaching them the rhythm of existence, the art of shining. And maybe, just maybe, they will someday sing it back, sending their warmth across the dark toward dreamers like you. You float there, suspended in thought and starlight, listening to the universe breathe. You feel how ancient it is, how endless, and yet how gentle. The song that began at the dawn of time still surrounds you, patient and kind. It hums not to wake you, but to help you drift into the quiet, into the hum, into the dream. You imagine the smallest thing you can. A grain of sand, maybe. A speck of dust drifting in sunlight. Then you go smaller. Smaller still, until what you're picturing isn't even visible anymore. Just a shimmer of energy, a particle so tiny it's almost nothing. That particle, somewhere deep inside you, was once part of a star. Maybe several stars. Maybe one that lived, burned, and died billions of years ago. You are built from that memory, from the dust of cosmic fire. You are, quite literally, a dream the universe once had about light. As you breathe, those ancient atoms breathe with you. Hydrogen that once floated through nebulae now moves gently through your blood. Carbon forged in supernova spins in your cells. Every breath you take is a quiet reunion with creation. The same particles that dance in the glow of distant suns now hum quietly inside you, warm and alive. You and the universe are not separate. You are the same story told in different shapes. You let that thought settle. The idea that atoms can dream, that something so small, so fundamental, can hold within it the ability to think, to imagine, to rest. It's a slow, Beautiful transformation. The universe cooled, gathered itself, built stars, planets, oceans, and over time Out of chaos came calm. Out of energy came thought. Somewhere along that journey, those atoms began to dream, through you. Your mind feels like a galaxy when you think about it. Billions of neurons shining, flickering, forming constellations of memory and imagination. They spark in patterns as if speaking a secret language older than words. Scientists can map the brain, measure its light, trace its waves, but they still can't explain why consciousness feels like wonder, why dreams feel real, why silence feels alive. Maybe because, deep down, your atoms remember the stars they came from. As you drift deeper, you imagine looking inside yourself, not at your reflection, but beneath it, past the skin, the bones, the pulsing rhythm of your heart, down to where molecules weave their slow, perfect dance. Each atom vibrating in quiet conversation with the next. They're not in a hurry. They've existed for nearly the entire age of the cosmos. To them, your heartbeat is a brief, delicate moment, a ripple in an ocean of eternity. If you could hear them, maybe they would sound like tiny bells underwater. A gentle ringing, soft and endless. A music so small and constant that it becomes silence. The hum of your being. And somewhere within that stillness, there's thought. The atoms that form your brain are arranging themselves into dreams, turning electricity into imagery, into stories, into stars behind your closed eyes. The universe, folded into you, learning what it means to imagine. You begin to see that dreams aren't separate from the cosmos. They are its continuation. Every night, when you sleep, your mind replays the pattern of creation. It takes the scattered pieces of your day and reshapes them into something new. Just as gravity gathers dust into planets, your mind gathers memories into dreams. Every image, every feeling, every fragment swirling into form. It's not chaos, it's creation, quiet and infinite, played out in the theater of your sleeping mind. In that space between waking and dreaming, the edges of time dissolve. The atoms that make you hum in rhythm with the same cosmic pulse that shaped them billions of years ago. You can almost feel it, like standing at the edge of a vast, unseen ocean. You are both the drop and the tide, both the dreamer and the dream. The universe looks inward through your closed eyes and wonders what it feels like to sleep. Sometimes, you forget how incredible it is to exist, to be made of such ancient, patient things. Every breath you take moves through the same molecules, once carried by comets, by forests, by clouds drifting over alien worlds. When you inhale, you draw in pieces of stars. When you exhale, you return them. The air between you and the cosmos is only distance, not difference. Every moment, you are participating in an endless exchange of being. You imagine yourself floating in that exchange, drifting through a sea of particles. They move around you like tiny lanterns, glowing faintly, carrying the story of time. They do not judge or rush or worry. They simply exist, beautifully, precisely, doing what they've always done, creating form from emptiness. That's what dreaming is too. The creation of something from nothing. A flicker of possibility born in darkness. Perhaps that's why sleep feels sacred. It's a return to the rhythm of atoms, a surrender to the flow that began before stars existed. When you close your eyes, you are not falling away from the world. You are falling back into it. Back into the origin of light. Back into the quiet where everything began. The universe still dreams, and in sleep, you help it remember how. Science tells you that energy never disappears. It only changes shape. Every thought you have, every dream you breathe, every sigh, none of it is lost. It simply transforms. Maybe that's what your atoms are doing when you sleep. shifting, remembering, whispering their ancient lullaby. You are both the scientist and the experiment, both the observer and the observed. A small pocket of awareness inside a much larger dream. You think about the night sky again. Each star, each glowing pinprick of light, is made of the same elements as you. You share more than beauty with them. You share identity. The carbon in your skin, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, they were all born in stars. Stars that lived burned and collapsed, scattering themselves across space so you could exist. The atoms in your body are the ashes of old stars reborn into life. You picture one of those stars now. Maybe it lived near the edge of a spiral galaxy. Maybe it had planets circling it, oceans reflecting its glow. It burned bright for millions of years, then faded. Its death was not an end. It was a transformation. From its fire came you. The star became dust. The dust became matter, and matter became mind. Somewhere in your quiet thoughts tonight, that star still burns. You realize, in a strange and beautiful way, that your dreams might be the universe remembering its own story. Each image, each fleeting vision, a reflection of something much older. When you imagine light, it's because you were made from it. When you dream of floating, it's because every atom inside you has done so for eternity. You are the echo of their endless wandering, the shimmer of their return. The deeper you drift, the softer the world becomes. Thoughts dissolve into warmth. The boundaries of your body fade, replaced by a sensation of quiet connection. You are no longer one thing or another. You are everything that has ever been, remembering itself through you. The atoms that once glowed in distant galaxies now hum softly in your chest, still dreaming of stars. You exhale, and it feels like a release across ages. The atoms move on, ready to become something new someday, part of another being, another planet, another story. But for now they rest here, in you, still and luminous. They dream quietly, and so do you. The same particles that once illuminated the sky now shimmer beneath your skin, waiting for morning. Waiting for another dream to begin. You close your eyes and feel the gentle rhythm of your breath. Each inhale, each exhale, like the slow rising and falling of waves under a sleepy moon. Deep inside your head, another ocean stirs, an invisible sea made of thought, memory, and light. This is where your neurons live, billions of tiny sparks resting and awakening in endless cycles. Their movements are not frantic. They are graceful. The slow dance of neurons begins as you drift towards sleep. You imagine your brain as a coastline at twilight. Electrical waves roll in softly, then retreat. They never stop completely, just move slower, smoother, quieter. During the day, those waves crash fast and bright, full of sound and signal. But now, as the body grows still, they begin to settle. The tides of the mind calm. Neurons whisper instead of shout. Their gentle choreography begins to hum beneath your awareness, like the ocean breathing beneath the sand. Each neuron is a tiny lighthouse of energy. It flashes, then rests, then flashes again. Millions of them flicker together, creating patterns as intricate as constellations. Scientists can measure these rhythms, calling them alpha, theta, and delta waves. But you can feel them too, even if you don't know their names. They are the language of deep rest, the pulse of thought slowing into something timeless. You can almost sense them. Little arcs of light moving through a quiet galaxy inside you. You let your attention drift further inward. The space behind your eyelids begins to glow faintly, like dusk settling over a calm sea. Your neurons move in long, slow currents now. Thoughts stretch like waves, then dissolve. The chatter of waking life fades into a distant murmur. You can feel your brain balancing itself, washing away the noise, reorganizing, repairing, remembering. Every night, this dance restores you. Every night, your neurons rewrite the quiet story of who you are. Somewhere in that slow rhythm, the world softens. Time becomes wide and hazy. The brain doesn't sleep all at once. It ebbs and flows, layer by layer. Some regions rest deeply, others linger in twilight. It's a delicate, living mosaic of wake and dream, like moonlight shimmering across rippling water. You float in it, weightless and calm, listening to your own inner tide. If you could see this process, it would look like weather. Clouds of electricity forming and dissolving. Small flashes of light scattered across the dark landscape of your mind. These flashes aren't random, they are messages. Each spark a tiny bridge between memories, between sensations, between thoughts you'll have tomorrow. As you rest, those connections grow stronger. The dance is both silent and powerful. A storm of creation moving gently beneath the surface of peace. You imagine yourself standing inside that landscape, neurons glowing around you like fireflies. Their paths weave through the dark, glimmering threads linking one idea to another. They don't compete, they collaborate. Every flash is both an ending and a beginning, one thought fading softly into the next. In this world, there's no rush, no chaos, only flow. You can almost feel the hum of it, low and steady, like a lullaby played on invisible strings. Science calls this pattern synchrony. It means that billions of neurons begin to pulse together, as though guided by an unseen rhythm. It's what allows sleep to heal you. When your mind slows, it's not shutting down, it's tuning itself, aligning every cell to the same quiet tempo. It's as if your brain becomes an orchestra of calm, each instrument vibrating in harmony. You don't have to conduct it. It already knows the melody. Outside your window, the world might be silent, but within, a vast concert unfolds. Gentle electrical tones sweeping through the mind like waves through a bay. Slow oscillations carrying away the clutter of the day. Every moment of stillness invites repair. Neurons untangle old knots, rewire what's frayed, and clear pathways for new ideas to bloom. It's a kind of invisible gardening, done in moonlight, patient and unhurried. You think of how miraculous it is, that every memory, every dream, every feeling is built from light and chemistry. That every emotion, every idea, begins as a spark between two cells. When you sleep, those sparks change shape. They slow, they merge, they whisper. They trace the architecture of your mind, like rivers carving soft valleys into a landscape of thought. You don't control them, yet they build you, piece by piece, quietly, faithfully, every night. You can almost feel them now, flickering behind your temples, tracing gentle spirals. They move in loops, in ripples, in waves. Patterns that echo through time and memory, linking the past to the present. Some of those waves travel deep, into the parts of you that never wake. There, they keep watch, holding the map of who you are. You may not hear them, but they never stop listening. Sometimes, as you drift into sleep, you might feel a strange flutter, a falling, a slipping. That's the body and brain aligning, passing through the threshold between waking and dreaming. The neurons are shifting gears, their rhythm softening from fast to slow, from bright to dim. It feels like floating because, in a way, it is. The mind begins to let go of gravity. You enter a deeper current, carried by the same waves that shape your dreams. Each breath deepens the calm. The neurons follow suit, responding to your stillness. The less you try to control them, the smoother they flow. It's a kind of trust, this surrender to sleep. Your brain knows the way. It has followed this path for millions of years, since the first living creatures closed their eyes beneath ancient skies. Even then, Their tiny minds pulsed with the same slow rhythm that moves through you now. The dance of neurons is not only yours, it's shared by every living thing that dreams. The firefly resting in the grass, the whale drifting beneath 1,000 feet of ocean, the forest itself breathing through its roots. All of them hum with similar waves, invisible yet alive. The same slow, gentle current moves through all things that need to rest. It is the universal pulse of restoration. You drift with it. Thoughts scatter like petals on water. The neurons glow more faintly now, their dance becoming softer, simpler. Some fall quiet entirely. Others flicker on, guarding the edges of awareness. You feel safe knowing this balance exists, that even in your deepest sleep, part of your mind watches the stars within you. Each flicker a promise that you'll wake again, renewed and whole. Somewhere inside, the slow dance continues, light moving through silence, energy reshaping itself into peace. You don't need to understand every step of it to feel its grace. You only need to rest in its rhythm, to trust the tide of your own mind. The waves of thought become waves of calm. The slow dance of neurons carries you further, deeper, quieter, and as you drift, the rhythm fades into stillness. The ocean of the mind darkens to blue, then silver, then sleep. Somewhere beneath it, light still moves, soft, distant, endless, singing you onward into the quiet. You imagine the moon rising quietly, its silver light stretching across oceans, fields, and rooftops. It moves slowly, tenderly, as if it doesn't want to wake the world. Every night, it climbs that ancient path, following the same rhythm it has kept for billions of years. You can almost feel its pull. The same invisible hand that stirs the tides also moves gently through you. Moonlight has always been more than light. It's a whisper, a rhythm, a message from the cosmos that speaks directly to the sleeping mind. For thousands of years, humans have looked up and felt its presence. They built temples aligned with its glow, kept calendars by its changing face, and dreamed under its watchful gaze. The moon became a mirror for our inner world, calm yet shifting, distant yet familiar. You feel that too, somewhere deep inside. When the moonlight touches your skin, your body remembers something ancient, something older than language, older than thought. You let that soft light fill the space around you. It falls through your window, gentle and silver, painting everything in quiet calm. Your heartbeat slows, your breathing steadies, and your mind begins to match its rhythm. Scientists know that moonlight is only sunlight reflected from dust and rock, but that doesn't make it less magical. Reflection is its purpose. The moon gives back what it receives, transformed, softened, cooled. You wonder if your dreams do the same. You imagine walking through a landscape bathed in that pale glow. The trees shimmer faintly, every leaf outlined in silver. The air feels cool and alive, carrying whispers of things long forgotten. In moonlight, even the familiar becomes mysterious. The edges blur. Time slows. It feels as if the world is holding its breath, waiting for you to listen. There's a quiet science hidden beneath that beauty. Moonlight has guided the rhythms of life for millions of years. Creatures time their movements to its cycle. The coral in distant oceans release their eggs only under a full moon, glowing like underwater constellations. Birds migrate by its light. Even the smallest insects use its reflection to find their way. Life listens to the moon, as if the earth itself keeps time with her shining clock. Your own body listens too, though you might not notice. The moon's rhythm subtly tugs at the tides within you. The fluids in your body, the quiet chemical dances of sleep and wake, respond to its gentle pull. Ancient humans once lived entirely by its pattern, waking and sleeping with its glow. You carry those instincts still, hidden beneath electric light and digital noise. A part of you still stirs when the moon is full, still softens when it fades. You think of all those who once looked up at this same moon. Poets, wanderers, lovers, and dreamers, all tracing its path across the same sky. The moon has watched civilizations rise and fall, watched the first fires light the night, watched humanity's restless searching. It's seen the same emotions repeat through time. Awe, longing, peace. It knows the quiet language of sleep better than anyone. When the world darkens, it whispers, "Rest now, I'll keep watch." Moonlight travels far to reach you. Over 300,000 kilometers of cold, silent space. It reflects off craters and mountains, then falls through your window, softened by distance. By the time it touches you, it has passed through eternity. You can almost feel the weight of that journey. The patience of light moving across the void, carrying the memory of a distant sun. You let it rest on your skin like a sigh, like the hand of time itself. As you breathe, you picture that light touching oceans far below. The waves shimmer faintly, answering the moon's pull. The entire planet sways with it. Oceans rising, falling, moving to an ancient rhythm. The earth listens too. Its waters lift in response, its creatures drift in harmony. Even in your veins, tides move quietly, pulled by forces you'll never fully feel, but somehow know are real. In that knowing, you find peace. You realize that the moon doesn't simply reflect light. It reflects calm. It slows the world. It tells everything alive that there is time for rest. For centuries, people have felt that presence in their dreams. Many believed the moon could send messages, visions, or wisdom through sleep. Maybe those dreams weren't just imagination. Maybe moonlight carries stories from the universe itself, shining through the veil of night to reach the dreaming mind. You imagine those stories now, silver threads of thought drifting down from the stars. They enter your dreams like ripples on still water, each one soft, fluid, timeless. Maybe that's why dreams under moonlight feel different, more luminous, more fragile. You can almost see the shapes of constellations forming behind your closed eyes, the soft geometry of imagination glowing faintly against the dark. There's a science to that glow too. The moon's light affects the brain's rhythm. It can change how deeply you sleep, how vividly you dream. Some nights, under a bright moon, the mind wakes a little more, drifting between reality and reverie. The boundary blurs. You dream, but part of you listens to the world outside. It's not restlessness. It's attunement. You are sensing with the ancient heartbeat of the night. You drift deeper, guided by that rhythm. The moon feels closer now, not a distant sphere, but a companion. Its light weaves through your thoughts like a silver thread, connecting moments and memories. You think of how it has watched humanity learn, grow, and wonder. It has seen everything, yet never changes its gentle expression. Always patient, always quiet, always listening. You feel its pull not just above, but within. The same gravity that lifts the tides lifts your thoughts, loosening what feels heavy. Worries begin to drift away, drawn upward into the vast calm beyond your reach. The moon gathers them all and turns them into light. It reflects them back as beauty, as silence, as rest. You feel lighter, emptier, but in a way that feels full of peace. Somewhere, high above, the moon continues its endless orbit. It never stops moving, yet never seems to hurry. You find comfort in that. A reminder that motion can be gentle, that change can be calm. You too can move without rushing. You can breathe without striving. You can exist simply and beautifully. Under this same eternal light, you imagine floating closer to it now, through the quiet vacuum of space. The earth below glows blue, a soft jewel of water and air. The moon grows larger, its surface calm, its craters deep and ancient. You land softly on the dust, the silence wrapping around you like a blanket. Even here, in this stillness, you can feel the Earth's heartbeat, faint and far away. The two worlds move together, forever bound by gravity's gentle hand. You look back at the Earth, glowing beneath the stars. The moonlight you once felt on your skin now shines back toward home. It touches mountains, forests, cities, and oceans. It falls on sleeping creatures and dreaming minds. You realize you are part of that same exchange. Light passing through light. Dream passing through dream. The moon, the Earth, and you, all bound in one soft rhythm of reflection. The thought lingers as you drift deeper. The moon hums quietly, its silver glow still moving through your veins. The tides within you calm. The pull of gravity feels like comfort now, not weight. The night grows softer, quieter, slower. You breathe once more, the moon's rhythm steady in your chest. Carrying you gently into sleep, you begin to imagine the universe not as a cold expanse of emptiness, but as a living breath. Every atom hums softly. Every star exhales a quiet pulse of light. You sense it now, this cosmic rhythm, slow and patient, echoing through your chest. As you inhale, the stars seem to swell slightly, as though they too are breathing with you. The universe moves in and out, and you, a drifting thought within it, begin to float along. You wonder if dreams are the mind's way of joining that universal breath. When you fall asleep, your thoughts loosen like petals drifting on a still pond. Neurons begin to whisper to one another, their signals flickering like distant galaxies across the folds of your brain. Each electrical pulse is a spark of memory, of possibility, of meaning. Together, they form constellations inside your mind, as if your dreams were the night sky within you. In this slow rhythm, you sense how your mind follows a natural order, guided by the same laws that shape the stars. Gravity holds planets together, emotion holds thoughts. Energy dances between them in delicate balance, never lost, only transformed. Your heartbeat syncs with this exchange, steady, circular, endless. The universe dreams in patterns, and you are part of that pattern. As you drift deeper, your thoughts dissolve into colors. Blue and gold, silver and green. Each hue feels like a soft vibration, a note in a universal lullaby. Scientists call it neural oscillation. Waves of brain activity rising and falling like tides. But in the language of dreams, it feels like floating through an ocean of starlight. The currents carry you gently between wakefulness and wonder, between the seen and the imagined. Sometimes, your mind shows you places that never existed. Mountains suspended in clouds, forests glowing from within, oceans that hum softly beneath violet moons. You explore these worlds without effort, as if they are memories of another time. Could it be that your brain builds these dreamscapes from patterns older than your life? Perhaps from the same cosmic code that taught hydrogen how to become a star. Everything, even imagination, seems to follow the same quiet rules. As your breathing deepens, your body becomes weightless. Your awareness drifts beyond skin and bone, beyond the hum of distant noise. Inside, your neurons fire in synchronized harmony, crafting the soft fabric of your dream. It feels as if the universe has leaned close, whispering through the electricity of your mind. Keep dreaming. It seems to say, for through your dreams, I continue to understand myself. You picture this, the cosmos as a vast scientist, experimenting through every conscious being it creates. Each thought, each dream, another test of possibility. Every sleeping mind becomes a quiet laboratory where new realities are born. Somewhere out there, among a billion suns, the universe dreams through you. testing what beauty can exist, what love can be imagined, what peace can be felt. You drift deeper into that thought. Your breath slows to the tempo of the Milky Way turning. The galaxies spin so slowly that even time seems to pause and listen. Somewhere, black holes breathe in light, while nebulae exhale new stars. It feels like the universe itself is sleeping, and in that slumber, you exist as its dream. You wonder if every person, every thought, every sleeping creature is a flicker in the mind of something infinite. The air around you feels thick and kind, as if woven from stardust. You can almost hear atoms whispering, tiny murmurs of energy forming the symphony of everything. Each vibration a note, each particle a tone in the quietest song ever played. This harmony has no end, only flow. The same frequencies that once hummed inside the birth of stars now hum softly within your chest. You recall how scientists describe REM sleep, the phase where your brain's waves mimic waking life. It's as if the mind rehearses reality even as it dreams. Perhaps the universe too rehearses creation through you. Every vision you see in your sleep, every impossible shape or moment of wonder could be a glimpse of another world yet to be born. In the warmth of your dream, creation feels so effortless, so kind. Outside your window, the night stretches infinitely. Each star looks like a pinprick in a great dark curtain. But you sense something beyond that darkness. A sea of possibilities, shimmering, alive. Your mind floats toward it without fear. You drift through the space between thoughts, where silence becomes language, and stillness hums with gentle power. You are both the dreamer and the dream, both question and answer. The boundaries between body and cosmos blur. You feel your heartbeat, as if it were a planet's pulse. The blood flowing through your veins mirrors rivers of light spiraling through the galaxy. You exist between two infinities, one within, one beyond. And in the middle, there is peace. A quiet realization that everything, even thought, even breath, belongs to the same eternal pattern. You imagine neurons as stars once more, connecting through invisible filaments of light. Each firing impulse a message from deep time, reminding you of your place in this cosmic story. Even when you close your eyes, the light continues to travel. It moves through the architecture of your dreams, shaping emotions into constellations, ideas into galaxies. You are, in every sense, a map of the universe learning to feel. As you drift deeper still, the world fades into a soft hum. You feel suspended in a gentle current of time, moving without direction. There is no need to think, only to be. In this stillness, you sense how rare it is to exist, to breathe, to imagine. The same particles that once lived in ancient stars now rest quietly within your bones, waiting, dreaming, remembering. The thought soothes you, that every night when you sleep, the universe is thinking too. Through you, around you, within you. Your dreams are its language, its experiment, its art. Somewhere in the vastness, a star flickers as you begin to dream. Somewhere, light curves around gravity like a lullaby finding its rhythm again. The silence grows deeper. You feel your thoughts slowing, melting into one another. Words lose their edges. Time becomes liquid, smooth, endless. You sense that you are floating in a place beyond waking and sleep. A place where thought and matter become the same soft glow. The universe, patient and eternal, continues to hum. And you, a single spark within it, continue to drift. You drift through the idea that sleep is not a pause in life, but a hidden voyage. Every night, your body folds gently inward. Yet your mind opens like a quiet window to infinity. In the stillness of your breathing, you feel something subtle awaken. The invisible motion of energy, softly rewriting the chemistry of your cells. Deep within, molecules begin to hum, repairing, rebuilding, remembering. Sleep, you realize, is not rest at all. It's transformation disguised as silence. You imagine yourself as a tiny planet orbiting within the vastness of your own biology. Inside your brain, patterns of electricity dance like ribbons of light. Waves rise and fall, alpha, beta, theta, delta, each with its own rhythm, its own purpose. Scientists describe these waves as states of consciousness, but you feel them as tides washing through thought. The deeper you drift, the slower they move, smoothing out the edges of your day until all that remains is calm. In the gentle dark of sleep, your cells repair the wear of waking hours. Proteins fold perfectly once more, synapses clean their delicate threads, and your heartbeat steadies into an ancient rhythm. It's almost as if your body remembers the pulse of the first oceans, that liquid cradle from which all life emerged. The same salts, the same gentle electrical charge, still flow through you. You are a small echo of Earth itself, dreaming the same dream of renewal every night. You picture your mind as a forest bathed in moonlight. Nerve cells, like trees, stretch their luminous branches toward one another, passing whispers along glimmering paths. The air hums softly with memory. Each flicker of energy, each chemical sigh, helps your mind sort through the stories of the day. Some memories are kept like pressed leaves, others drift away like mist. The forest remains alive, always learning, always healing in silence. Sometimes your dreams feel like strange reflections, distorted yet familiar. Faces merge with places, time bends, and moments bloom in impossible order. It feels random, yet beneath the chaos lies a design. Scientists believe dreams help your brain weave new connections, mixing emotion and logic into a tapestry of meaning. But you feel it differently. To you, dreams are like wind moving through tall grass, unseen, but shaping everything it touches. You float deeper into that thought. The air of imagination grows warmer, softer, filled with color that can't exist in waking life. You wander through shifting landscapes made of memory and desire, where time folds upon itself like waves returning to shore. In this quiet realm, you are both scientist and explorer, observing the inner cosmos of your mind. Each sensation feels both foreign and ancient, like starlight traveling through forgotten dust. Your breathing synchronizes with unseen rhythms, the slow expansion of lungs mirroring galaxies, swirling in endless loops. The mind and universe seem to share one pulse. Energy flows in spirals, not lines. Nothing is truly lost, only recycled into new forms of wonder. Even as you dream, your body obeys this cosmic law, conserving and transforming energy, like a tiny star in the dark. In the background of your sleep, your brain performs its nightly miracles. Memories consolidate, pathways strengthen, and chemical gardens bloom in microscopic beauty. You cannot see it, but deep inside your neurons, new connections form. Delicate bridges across rivers of possibility. These bridges are how you grow, even when you rest. Each morning, you awaken slightly changed, shaped by dreams you cannot remember but will forever carry. The silence deepens. Outside, the world has fallen still, but within, universes continue to unfold. Your subconscious paints with light, creating symbols that shimmer just beyond understanding. Perhaps it's your mind's way of speaking to itself in a language older than words. A language of rhythm, color, and movement. You don't need to interpret it. You only need to feel its warmth. The meaning will find you in its own time. You begin to imagine your body as a constellation of cells glowing softly in the dark. Each one follows a pattern, a circadian rhythm, like stars bound by invisible gravity. The light inside you brightens and dims, guided by an ancient clock buried deep in your brain. This clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, counts light and darkness like breaths of the earth itself. It tells your cells when to sleep, when to rise, when to heal. You are, in essence, tuned to the rhythm of the planet's turning. And yet, as you drift further, you sense that rhythm extending beyond Earth. Somewhere, distant planets turn under alien suns, their own cycles of light and shadow unfolding. You wonder if they're inhabitants, if they dream, follow patterns too, not so different from yours. Perhaps sleep is the universe's shared heartbeat, pulsing quietly across time and space. A universal lullaby sung in countless frequencies, all blending into one vast soothing hum. Your awareness begins to thin, like fog melting into dawn. Thoughts scatter, soft and weightless. In their place comes sensation, the gentle pull of gravity, the cool breath of air, the slow thrum of your pulse. You feel as though you are dissolving into the dark, not vanishing but expanding. The boundaries between you and everything else begin to blur. Sleep isn't separation, it's reunion. In this in-between, you feel ancient knowledge awaken. Perhaps every night's sleep is a rehearsal of creation, the dissolving of form before renewal. Just as the stars collapse and ignite again, your consciousness folds inward, then blooms with new light each morning. Even in your smallest moments of rest, the pattern repeats: decay and rebirth, silence and song. You are the microcosm of something vast and patient. The air feels thicker now, filled with invisible sound. Maybe it's the echo of neural waves rippling through your mind. Or maybe it's the resonance of stars vibrating in the farthest corners of space. Either way, it comforts you. The universe hums in sleep just as you do. Its frequencies overlap yours, and for a moment, you are indistinguishable from it. An atom in its dream, a breath in its stillness, a spark in its infinite night. You drift further. The edges of your awareness grow soft and luminous. Somewhere, your heartbeat slows, and your muscles surrender to gravity's tender hold. It feels like falling, but without fear. You are simply returning to balance, to the place where all things begin again. In this stillness, you sense the universe breathing beside you, vast, ancient, endlessly kind. Your mind floats through one last flicker of thought, a question without words. Maybe dreaming isn't just something that happens inside you. Maybe it's the universe studying itself through your sleep, rediscovering its own mystery through every flicker of imagination. And as you drift, you feel that gentle truth settle over you like starlight, calm, wordless, endless. The silence deepens, your breath steadies. The stars turn slowly above the invisible horizon of thought. The universe continues to dream through you, softly, eternally, without ever needing to wake. You begin to imagine that dreams are not just fragments of thought, but portals of possibility. They are bridges made of light, stretching between what is real and what could be. In their fragile beauty, they weave together emotion and memory, giving your mind permission to wander without boundaries. Each night, as your eyelids grow heavy, these bridges shimmer into being. Invisible pathways connecting your quiet room to the fabric of the cosmos. You drift across them, softly, weightlessly, like a traveler made of moonlight. As you float deeper, you sense how dreams blur the edges of time. Past, present, and future fold gently into one another. The sound of a childhood laugh echoes inside a city that doesn't exist yet. The face of a stranger feels familiar, as if borrowed from another lifetime. Scientists say this blending comes from your hippocampus, sorting memories and feelings into patterns. But you, lying beneath the slow hush of night, feel something larger, as if consciousness itself were a river flowing endlessly between worlds. In this gentle drift, the brain's activity changes color in your imagination. Each region glows like an island of light, connected by glowing streams. The visual centers sparkle first, igniting the landscapes of your dream. The limbic system hums softly, painting emotion into every scene. Logic rests, allowing wonder to take the lead. You are no longer confined by physics or reason. Your mind has become a universe, sculpted by feeling. You wander through this inner cosmos, sometimes flying, sometimes floating, sometimes simply existing as color or sound. The laws of gravity dissolve, yet a deeper balance remains. Perhaps that's because, even here, energy follows order. Neurons fire with purpose. Chemistry dances in rhythm, and every flicker of imagination has its counterpart in reality. The brain's dreams and the universe's laws mirror one another, both seeking harmony through change, both creating meaning from motion. You drift toward a shimmering horizon within your mind. There, your dreams begin to speak in symbols: a door opening, a bird taking flight, a spiral of stars turning slowly in the distance. Each image feels both personal and cosmic, as if born from the same hidden source that created galaxies. Psychologists may call them archetypes, patterns older than civilization itself. You feel them as whispers from the deep unconscious, guiding you toward truths that can't be said in words. The dream begins to shift again, like light rippling through water. You find yourself standing in a quiet forest, though you can't tell if it's made of trees or thought. The air glows softly with phosphorescent mist. Each step you take stirs dust that looks like galaxies being born. You can hear your own heartbeat echoing in the distance, resonating like a drum beneath the soil of time. The dream feels alive, watching you gently, waiting for you to listen. You realize that inside every dream, your mind experiments with meaning. It builds, rearranges, tests possibilities the waking world cannot hold. Scientists have found that during REM sleep, the brain strengthens emotional understanding, exploring what if with infinite creativity. But as you drift within your dream, it feels less like science and more like poetry, the soul's quiet rehearsal for life. Here you can love without fear, lose without pain, and begin again without ending. Sometimes the dream dissolves completely, replaced by pure sensation. There are no images, no forms, only the feeling of floating through soft, soundless light. You imagine this as your consciousness resetting, returning to its simplest frequency. No story, no identity, just being. It's the same stillness that might exist between the pulses of a star, or in the silence after the universe takes a breath. The kind of peace so deep it feels like eternity. And then, like a sunrise, fragments return, a sound, a shape, a familiar scent. The dream rebuilds itself, piece by piece, from memory and imagination. You stand again in a place that might be both real and invented. The air feels warmer, and above you, countless constellations swirl across an endless sky. You realize that the stars you see might be reflections of your own thoughts. Neurons glowing within the vastness of your being. You are both observer and creator, both sleeper and universe. As your body lies still, your mind travels light years. You pass through landscapes of emotion, through the architecture of imagination. Every cell within you participates in this quiet performance. Blood flows like rivers of starlight. The brain's pulses echo like the footsteps of comets. Even your heartbeat, steady and patient, becomes the drum that keeps the rhythm of the dream alive. The science of it fades beneath the wonder. Somewhere in this drifting, you sense connection. The people you love, the faces you've forgotten, the strangers you'll one day meet, all of them seem woven into your dream. They flicker in and out of existence, yet they feel close. almost tangible. Maybe dreams are not confined to one mind at all. Maybe consciousness hums beneath everything, shared like an ocean. Every dream, then, is a wave rising and falling within the same eternal sea. The thought soothes you. You imagine the universe itself dreaming, not in words or pictures, but in energy and form. Galaxies spiral like thoughts. Moons drift through orbits like emotions. The cosmic background radiation hums like the echo of an ancient lullaby. You feel it surround you. This vast consciousness, gentle and endless. You realize your dream is simply one verse in its infinite song. The scenery fades again, replaced by floating lights, tiny and distant. You drift among them, unbound by time. You sense no fear, no direction, only motion without effort. Perhaps this is what your mind becomes when it forgets the difference between inner and outer space. The dream and the cosmos overlap, forming a single, seamless horizon. Every spark is a heartbeat. Every breath is a galaxy turning. Your body remains still beneath blankets of gravity. But inside you are limitless. The neurons continue to fire, slow and rhythmic, echoing the rotation of unseen worlds. Sleep is no longer separate from existence. It is a mirror reflecting creation itself. One breath, one pulse, one endless unfolding. You drift deeper into that truth, soft as mist, steady as starlight. The dream continues to weave, threads of thought turning into rivers of light. You lose track of form, of self, of sound. You have become part of something ancient, vast and tender. Maybe the universe made dreaming not just for rest, but for remembrance. A way for every living thing to recall where it came from. You feel that memory now, glowing quietly in the space behind your eyelids. You are home, though you never left. The silence grows deeper. You drift through it without resistance, carried by rhythms too large to measure. The stars of your mind continue to flicker, patient, eternal. Somewhere far beyond understanding, the universe dreams again. Through you, around you, within you, endlessly, softly, forever. You drift into the thought that every dream, no matter how fleeting, leaves behind a trace. A quiet echo vibrating in the folds of your mind. Like ripples on a still pond, each dream reshapes the water of your consciousness. You can't always remember them, but their presence lingers, soft and unseen. Some turn into feelings that guide your waking choices. Others dissolve into silence, becoming the invisible architecture of who you are. In the slow rhythm of sleep, your brain stores its secrets carefully. Deep within, networks of neurons spark and fade, carrying stories through corridors of memory. Some dreams are emotional repairs, gentle recalibrations that soothe the turbulence of the day. Others are rehearsals, your mind testing possibilities before dawn arrives. You are both scientist and subject in this nightly experiment, where the lab is made of thought and the instruments are made of light. You imagine your brain as a vast ocean glowing beneath the surface. Each wave is a thought, each current a memory. Dreams drift across it like phosphorescent creatures, shimmering briefly before fading into depth. Sometimes you remember their glow, sometimes you only feel their warmth. But even when forgotten, they remain, traces written in the chemistry of your being, rippling softly through emotion and instinct. Your body lies still, but your inner world is in motion. Neurotransmitters pulse like bioluminescent fish beneath calm water. Dopamine flickers, weaving joy and curiosity through the dream. Serotonin settles into gentle balance, ensuring peace. And in the darkness of the prefrontal cortex, where logic usually rules, a door opens. Imagination steps through, unbound by the ordinary. This is where you wander now, among ideas that don't yet exist, free from gravity, free from rules. Somewhere deep within, the amygdala glows brighter, giving shape to your emotions. Fear, wonder, love, and longing mingle like colors blending in liquid glass. The dream may shift from one mood to another, but every feeling has purpose. Scientists believe this is emotional regulation, your mind quietly reorganizing itself, healing invisible wounds. But to you, it feels like walking through a storm made of light, learning to dance with it instead of resisting its touch. You float through a city that feels half memory, half invention. The streets are lined with familiar shadows, faces you almost know, voices that echo your own. Time behaves differently here. It folds and stretches like silk. You may step into a room and find yourself standing beneath the stars. You may open a door and hear the ocean calling your name. These shifts are not mistakes. They are your brain blending fragments, testing how your story fits together. You drift past a window and see yourself sleeping. Your body is still, your breath calm, yet your mind glows like a distant constellation. Every flicker of your dream is visible from here, a silent aurora inside your skull. If you could listen closely, you might hear the gentle rhythm of neurons firing in harmony. A cosmic lullaby, played across the synapses of your mind. You realize then that dreaming is not escape, it's expansion. You are exploring what reality could be if given permission to breathe. As you float deeper, colors begin to dissolve. Shapes melt into patterns, patterns into light. The dream thins into pure sensation, warmth, calm, motion without direction. You feel the edges of yourself blur. You are no longer just a person dreaming. You are part of the mechanism that creates dreams. Consciousness folds inward, examining itself the way galaxies fold through gravity. You are the thought of the universe thinking about itself. You imagine, for a moment, that every dream on Earth happens at once. Billions of minds, all glowing in the dark, sending out waves of invisible light. Each dream a different note in a cosmic symphony, all resonating across the night sky. Somewhere, your dream overlaps with another, a stranger's vision, a memory not your own. For a brief moment, your subconscious touches theirs, and both of you continue unaware. The universe hums softly, pleased by this harmony. Back inside your body, the chemistry of sleep continues its ancient rhythm. Growth hormones rise, repairing tissue. The immune system strengthens, recalibrating its defense. Even as your mind wanders through impossible landscapes, your body heals in silence. It is a cooperation, thought and flesh, mind and matter, working as one. Sleep, then, is not an absence, but a sacred dialogue. Each dream, a gentle whisper in that endless conversation. You sense the air around you thicken with stillness. It feels almost liquid, holding you like an ocean cradle. You breathe slowly, and the world breathes with you. Every inhale feels older than your body, as if drawn from the lungs of the stars. Every exhale carries with it the weight of memory, gently released into the night. Time loses meaning here. The moment stretches endlessly. Soft as moonlight on water, a new dream begins to form. You see a spiral vast and luminous, turning in slow motion. It could be a galaxy, or perhaps the whorled pattern of your own fingerprint. The resemblance feels intentional, as though the universe left its signature inside you. As above, so below, whispers a thought that isn't quite yours. Every atom in your body was once part of a star, and every dream you have is the universe remembering that truth. The dream deepens further. You are drifting through a dark ocean filled with distant points of light. They move when you breathe, rearranging themselves into constellations that mirror your thoughts. The harder you try to understand them, the fainter they grow. So you stop trying and simply float. Understanding comes not from effort but surrender. In the calm that follows, You feel both infinite and microscopic, vast and tender at once. You begin to feel the pull of morning somewhere beyond this stillness. A faint light gathers at the edge of perception. Yet part of you wants to stay, not trapped, but at peace. Here thought and dream are one, and the noise of the waking world feels far away. Your body stirs slightly, but your consciousness remains suspended, half in reality, half in the mystery. You realize there's no true boundary between them, only the soft rhythm of transition. And so, you drift, between stars and thoughts, between sleep and awareness, between who you are and what you are becoming. The dream continues to move beneath you, like a slow current under glass. Every flicker of imagination, every unseen chemical pulse, is the same force that keeps galaxies alive. The same rhythm that carries comets, that sings through nebulae, that beats in your heart. Somewhere in the distance, the universe hums again. Low, endless, patient. You can't tell if it's outside or within. Perhaps both. Perhaps that is the secret of dreaming. The merging of what is and what could be. You let go of thought. You let go of form. You float, luminous and small, carried by the quiet intelligence of the cosmos. The universe keeps dreaming through you, softly, endlessly, forever. You drift into the thought that perhaps dreams are not only made by the brain, but by the universe itself. You imagine invisible threads, connecting your sleeping mind to distant stars, as if each neuron were whispering across light years. The night sky above your closed eyes becomes a reflection of your inner cosmos. Every spark of thought mirrors the birth of a star somewhere far away. Every flicker of emotion is a miniature supernova, brief and beautiful. As you sink deeper into rest, your mind feels less like a place and more like a field, vast, glowing, alive. In this quiet field, energy hums softly, weaving patterns that no one else can see. Scientists might call it neural activity, but you feel it as something older, something ancient and cosmic. The same energy that moves the planets also moves your thoughts. The rhythm of your heartbeat echoes the pulse of distant galaxies. You sense that your dreams are not random, but participatory, like the universe is dreaming through you. Perhaps when you dream of flying, you are remembering what it felt like to be light. When you dream of falling, maybe you're tracing the path of meteor, dust through gravity's gentle pull. Even when your dreams seem small or strange, they are echoes of cosmic processes, atoms remembering the stars they once belonged to. You imagine floating beyond your body now, out into the cool dark of the cosmos. There are no edges here, only curves and spirals, only motion without sound. The stars breathe slowly, their light spilling through your mind like liquid silver. You move past constellations that seem to pulse with familiarity, as if they too have been shaped by human thought. Somewhere within that shimmering silence, you realize that dreaming is a universal language, not spoken, but felt. Your body lies still, but your consciousness roams freely. You drift past the Milky Way's slow swirl, feeling its gravity tug softly at your awareness. It feels like the pull of sleep itself, a cosmic embrace. Every orbiting star seems to hum a different note, each resonating with something inside you. Perhaps this harmony is not accidental. Perhaps the atoms that form your mind still respond to the frequencies that birthed them billions of years ago. In the distance, you see a nebula blooming, clouds of hydrogen and dust painted with starlight. It reminds you of the way dreams form, diffuse, colorful, shapeless at first. Then, slowly, something coalesces. A thought, a symbol, a feeling that becomes a story. Just like gravity pulls matter into stars, your subconscious gathers fragments of memory, pulling them together until they ignite. Every dream is a small act of creation, a personal universe born for a night. You drift closer, watching the clouds swirl with color. Blues that breathe, purples that seem to sigh. Within them, you sense the beginnings of thought, the quiet curiosity that drives both dreamers and scientists alike. To understand, to explore, to reach beyond what is known. Even asleep, that spark doesn't fade. It simply changes form, becoming imagination, becoming peace, becoming story. Somewhere between the stars and your heartbeat, you begin to feel connected to everything. The molecules in your lungs, the dust in the galaxy, the light from a star that died before Earth existed. All the same material, the same story told in different rhythms. Science calls it stardust, but you feel it as belonging. The universe isn't somewhere you visit, it's what you are. And when you dream, you are remembering that truth. You drift through this awareness like a feather through sunlight. You can almost see the equations that describe it all. Gravity, entropy, evolution. But here they feel less like numbers and more like poetry. Every law of physics becomes a verse in an infinite lullaby. Motion is rhythm. Energy is melody. Time is the slow percussion of existence unfolding. You are both the listener and the music itself, wrapped in the soundless symphony of being. Your mind begins to slow, the images softening around the edges. You find yourself near a planet that looks strangely familiar. Oceans shimmer like liquid glass, and clouds curl like smoke rising from candlelight. You sense that this planet is not another world, but a reflection of your own thoughts, shaped by the dream itself. As you look closer, you see tiny flashes of life below, like neurons firing across a great cosmic brain. You realize that the universe might think in the same way you do, through patterns of light and darkness. A soft pulse of light moves through the dream, rhythmic, patient. It feels like breathing, not yours, not the planet's, but something vaster. The breath of existence itself. You follow its rhythm, slow and weightless, until you feel your own heartbeat align with it. Every inhalation becomes a star expanding. Every exhalation, a galaxy contracting. The boundaries between body and cosmos dissolve completely. You are simply awareness, resting in motion. In this state, you understand something wordless. That dreaming is not just imagination but communion. A meeting point between inner and outer infinity. Your subconscious becomes a telescope pointed inward, revealing universes that science can only hint at. And as you drift through them, you sense that the universe learns from you as much as you learn from it. The dreamer and the dream are one process, exploring themselves through the art of wonder. You begin to notice faint currents of energy flowing between thoughts, like invisible rivers of starlight. Each one carries memory, emotion, fragments of meaning. They intertwine and split, forming shapes that resemble galaxies, then fade again. Your mind feels vast enough to hold it all, and yet, there's no effort in doing so. It's effortless awareness, a soft observation of something too large to describe. In this calm, you feel the deep intelligence of the cosmos moving through you like a lullaby made of gravity. Somewhere, distant thunder rolls across the fabric of space, not noise, but the slow vibration of time itself. It sounds like the heartbeat of creation, ancient and unhurried. You listen closely and realize that every sound you've ever known, waves, wind, breath, are faint echoes of this original rhythm, the rhythm that shapes galaxies, shapes dreams, shapes you. It is the hum of continuity, of existence flowing endlessly, always changing, never ending. You drift through that sound, letting it carry you like a tide. Thoughts rise and fall, dissolve, return. You feel memory scatter like sand, then settle again in new patterns. The dream begins to fade around the edges, but the feeling of connection remains. You are weightless, thoughtless, suspended in pure awareness. There is no need to understand, no need to name. Only the simple, quiet truth of being part of something infinite. The universe breathes again, softly. Stars pulse like fireflies across an endless field. You feel yourself drifting back toward your body, still held in that same rhythm. Even as you approach waking, the connection doesn't fade. It lingers like warmth after sunlight. You are reminded that every moment of rest, every dream you have, is the cosmos exploring itself through you. The dream never truly ends. It simply changes form, waiting to return with the next breath, the next night, the next quiet drift into sleep. You drift through the last quiet corridors of thought, where science turns into wonder, and wonder becomes something wordless. The night stretches endlessly around you, calm and slow, like a sea of soft glass. You can almost feel the universe leaning closer, whispering through the silence of your breath. In this place, dreaming feels like a gentle continuation of creation itself, the cosmos thinking softly through you. Every flicker of imagination, every drifting vision feels like a star being born inside your mind. As you lie still, you sense the delicate hum of energy that moves through everything. Scientists might call it quantum fluctuation, but you feel it as a pulse, subtle, alive, ancient. It ripples through atoms, through air, through the warmth of your heartbeat. Even in the deepest sleep, it continues, carrying memories of starlight and time. You are not separate from this hum. You are part of it, a vibration in the great lullaby of the cosmos. You imagine that the universe dreams too, in its own infinite way. Stars pulse like slow thoughts. Galaxies drift like memories across the ocean of space-time. Perhaps every dream that passes through your mind is a faint echo of that greater dream. When you see light in your sleep, it could be the same light that traveled from a star billions of years ago, now reborn behind your eyelids. When you hear a voice in your dream, maybe it is the universe murmuring in a dialect only the subconscious can translate. You float between awareness and sleep, between curiosity and surrender. The air feels softer here, the darkness warmer. You feel time dissolve, not rushing forward, not pulling back, just flowing gently like water around stones. Somewhere, you sense that the past and future are touching. Dreams exist in that meeting point, that quiet shimmer where what was and what will be become the same moment. You rest there, held by something vast, safe, and endlessly patient. You begin to picture your brain as a small planet turning beneath a sky of stars. Electrical storms flash across its surface, lighting up continents of thought. Each storm a memory, each spark a dream unfolding in silence. Neurons connect and disconnect. Billions of tiny suns communicating through invisible light. Science might call it biology, but in this moment, it feels sacred, as though you're watching the cosmos map itself inside the folds of your mind. You drift deeper. Beneath the surface of awareness, your dreams bloom like coral in the ocean's dark. Patterns of light form shapes, stories, feelings, a language older than speech. The ocean of your mind stretches wide, and in it, you see reflections of distant galaxies. Everything mirrors everything else. The same spirals that form in space form in your thoughts. The same order that guides stars also guides the rhythm of your sleep. Somewhere in that quiet vastness, you sense that dreaming serves a purpose beyond imagination. It is healing, balancing, restoring, not just for the body, but for the spirit of being alive. In dreams, your mind reorganizes itself like constellations shifting in the night sky. Problems unravel, memories realign, emotions drift to softer places. It's as though the universe uses sleep to tune you, to bring your internal music back into harmony. You are both the instrument and the listener, resting in your own resonance. You imagine what the sleepy scientist inside you might say. They would whisper that energy cannot be destroyed, only changed, that everything, every particle, every dream, moves between states never lost, only transformed. And so, even when you wake, your dreams do not vanish. They linger as vibrations in your thoughts, shaping the way you see the world. Each dream, a quiet experiment in understanding what it means to exist. You begin to sense color in the darkness. Not bright, not loud, soft hues, like watercolors spread through mist. They swirl slowly, forming shapes that seem familiar yet unknown. Perhaps they are memories reimagined by the sleeping brain, or maybe they are glimpses of other possibilities, other worlds that exist only while you rest. The scientist in you wonders about neural pathways, about REM cycles and oxygen patterns. The dreamer in you simply watches, smiling softly at the beauty of uncertainty. Time feels slower now, as though it has curled up beside you. Content to rest. You feel gravity ease, space soften, thoughts unfold. The edges of things blur. The line between you and the world, between science and soul. Everything just is. The stars outside your window are not far away anymore. They are inside you, glowing gently, flickering in rhythm with your heartbeat. You realize that perhaps the purpose of dreaming is not escape but remembrance. To remind you of your belonging to everything. You think of light, how it travels endlessly, crossing billions of years just to reach a pair of eyes. That same light falls upon sleeping faces, quiet oceans, frozen moons. It falls upon you now, invisible but constant. It has seen beginnings and endings, and yet it continues, unbroken. Your dreams feel like that light, endless journeys across the inner universe, carrying the stories of who you've been and who you might yet become. The quiet deepens. Even your thoughts begin to move like slow tides, soft and rhythmic. You imagine drifting through interstellar clouds, through dust that once formed planets and will someday become them again. The cycle feels endless, and you are part of it. The same atoms that formed stars now rest in your blood. The same elements that formed oceans now ripple in your pulse. Dreaming is how those elements remember motion, how they remember light. You float further, weightless and at peace. There is no boundary between dream and cosmos now. They have merged into one seamless expanse. Every thought feels like a constellation being drawn in real time. Every breath feels like the expansion of the universe itself. You realize that to dream is to participate in creation, quietly, beautifully, without ever leaving your bed. You are both observer and creator, scientist and poet, stardust and story. A faint sound reaches you, not a voice, but something deeper. It's the gentle murmur of your own neurons, echoing the hum of galaxies. It feels like the universe breathing through you, using your sleeping mind as its lungs. You breathe in, and galaxies expand. You breathe out, and stars are born. The rhythm continues endless, soothing. The border between reality and imagination becomes a soft blur of light and rest. You find yourself wondering what dreams mean to the universe. Perhaps they are how it keeps learning, testing infinite variations of itself through the minds of countless beings. Every dream, a tiny experiment in possibility. Every sleeper, a participant in cosmic curiosity. You are not separate from that purpose. You are part of its unfolding, a node in the great network of wonder. Even as you sleep, you are helping the universe know itself. The dream begins to thin, but not fade. It becomes lighter, quieter, like breath dissolving into wind. You can still feel the hum of connection, the unbroken thread between your heart and the stars. You know that when you wake, the memory will slip away like mist, but its essence will stay. It will guide you, quietly, reminding you that every night is a return. Every dream a bridge between you and the infinite. And somewhere, far beyond words, the universe continues to dream with you, softly, endlessly, waiting for your next drift into the dark.